in the room. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on in the room. Come on, y'all. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I got another microphone. Y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Ah, it has been. Let me calm down. I've been on the phone with tech support for a while. But y'all come on in here. We're gonna get started because I had to get this right because this month I'm paying for this software. I'm supposed to be able to, and I've always been able to go live on 8 platforms, which I do 6. And for some reason, when I came here today at like 2:45 or something like that, maybe 3 o'clock, to start setting stuff up, but nothing connecting. Nothing was connecting, y'all. Nothing. And I'm like, oh no. Wait a minute. Now, only thing that was connecting was Facebook Live. And no. I could have came on live, but I got my other 6 platforms that I go live to. No. So yes, I'm on the phone with them because I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this. And I could have waited till later on tonight to come and do this. No, I'm here now. But y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for being in here. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I will be giving away something, maybe 2 things this evening. Just for Kobe being late is number one, but I always do that anyway because I'm still celebrating, hitting 2 million views, not one but twice, but 3 times this year. And I'm also celebrating 5 years on my platform. And I'm adding my celebration this month will make me 6 years in my bedroom candy business. So I'm just celebrating a whole lot, y'all. So I'm giving away stuff. T-shirts, crowns, everything. Some bedroom candy, some makeup, everything. But anyway, thank y'all for being patient with me. But I'm going to be tackling a topic to this evening that a lot of us face or will be facing sooner or later, or have faced it already. I don't know. And if you have already been through this, put in the comments that we know what happened, if you feel like sharing. But it's something that we don't talk about as usual. You barely hear a conversation about it. But I'm gonna be talking about it today. And the topic is once your child get a job, should they pay bills? We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk. Y'all know me. I'll be very straightforward about it. I'll be honest about stuff. Once your child get a job, especially if they're an adult child, I want to put some emphasis on that. Especially if they're an adult child. When I say an adult child, they done graduate from high school and all of that. I'm emphasizing on that. But you also got teenagers that get jobs. They get 16, they start working somewhere. Because my 2 sons was doing. I tell my story. Y'all know how I do. Well, once your child get a job, should they pay bills? Oh, where's my bill? Get my bill. All right. So thank y'all for being in here. Hold on, let me call my people out. I see some people in here. If you are a parent, if you are a mentor of any kind, if you someone that help people go through life transitions and all, coaches, life transitions and all, yeah, this topic is gonna be for you. Okay. Or if you got a child that's like I said, you're a parent, this is for you. This is for you. Y'all hanging here with me, okay? I'm not gonna hold you long. I'm not gonna hold you long. Thank y'all for being in here. And y'all come in here, y'all please speak so I can speak back to you, okay? That's what my grandmother raised me. If you come to somebody's house, you speak. Because I want to acknowledge my people. I want to acknowledge you, okay? I want to acknowledge you. So, hold on. Let me say this. First, I want to just do some type of reflection right now. So let me start with a question. Here's my question. Yeah, I got my stuff right here. Mhm. When your son or daughter lands that first job, or even their first real job after college, that adult the child adult I was telling you about, or training, do you expect them to contribute financially to the whole household, or do you continue to support them completely at your own risk? I'm gonna ask that again. I want y'all to do some reflection with me, okay? Think about this. Put in the comments what you think. Put in the comments what you think. Hey, my love. Hey, Nakira. Now, if I say your name wrong, you know Miss J is so sorry now. And let me say this. I always open up my platform if people see me doing these kind of conversations or topics. And if you want to come up and have a conversation, help me have a conversation, just let me know. And matter of fact, let me see, can I put the link? Cause y'all, for years, cause I've been had this platform for years, it wouldn't let me put the link. But the other day, it finally let me put the link in the comment. So I'm gonna put the link in the comment. And if anybody want to come up with me while we talk about this, now I will say this: you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I don't want. I never had nobody be uncomfortable. I don't do that up here on my platform. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. Thank you, my love, for being in here. But let me get this link. Hold on. And keep my fingers crossed that it's gonna let me put it in the comments. Cause I was surprised. Cause I'm talking about years, y'all. I've been trying, it would never let me do it. So let me copy and paste it. So here we go. So let's see. Let's see. Is it gonna let me put it in there? Let me hit enter. It did it. Okay, so I guess whatever happened, they must have fixed it because it didn't bounce back. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. But if y'all don't see the link, I can send it to you, okay? No problem. But again, when your son or your daughter get a job, right? Do you expect them to be paying financially help with the household, financially the whole household? Or do you continue to support them completely at your own risk? We're going to talk about this. Of course, when our child or children get their first job, that's a milestone. We're happy, right? We're happy for them that they got hired, right? Yeah, we're gonna celebrate, we're gonna be proud of and all that, of course. But then this conversation has to come. It does. This conversation has to come. And that conversation is, what does it mean for their financial responsibility? What does it mean for their financial responsibility? And we're going to talk about it from the parent role for the dynamic in the house. What does it mean for their financial responsibility when they get a job? Whether it's your 16 or 17-year-old and got out and got a job and they're still going to school, or they're probably not going to school, but they're still in your house, they got a job, or you got that adult child, okay? What does that mean for them, for financial for them? Yeah, like I said, we happy and everything. We celebrating, cool. Yeah, all right, you got your job. But what does that mean for their financial responsibility? Here we go. So, for a lot of us parents, this type of transition, like I said, it's fun and good, but it also can bring relief that they're earning money. But the number one thing that it does for a lot of us parents, and I can talk about myself, because y'all know that's how I do on my platform. One thing that it does do, it will bring on anxiety. It's going to bring on anxiety. No doubt about it. It does. It brings on anxiety. And, okay, come out of this. It brings on anxiety. It does. I could talk about myself, and I will after a while. I'm not going to try. I'm trying my best not to hold y'all long. But let's think about this for a moment now, okay? Got my water right here. Let's think about this for a moment. Thank you, Calvin, for being in here. Calvin, thank you for being in here. If I said your name, I'm sorry. I'm looking at so you must be coming from YouTube or TikTok or I see Calvin's. If I say your last name wrong, Silas. Did I say that right? Give me a thumbs up if I said it right. But thank you, my king, for being up in here. But let's think about this, right? So we're helping too much hold them back from being independent. We're helping your child too much hold them back from being independent. Y'all put in the chat what y'all think. Let me know what you think. If we help our child too much, will it hold them back from independence? Will expecting too much strain your relationship with your child? I'm going to say that again. Will expecting too much strain your relationship with your child? Okay? Well, research has shown that parents continue supporting adult children. See, this is where I'm guilty. And I guess I'll tell y'all about it. Research has shown that parents that continue to support their adult children financially, according to one article, helping adult children with expenses like phone bills, utilities, car notes, baby need Pampers, okay, may undermine their sense of financial self-efficiency. Let that sit right there. We helping our adult children. It stands a chance of undermining their sense of financial self-efficiency. Can anybody relate to that other than me? Okay. All right. So today I'm going to dive into the why, excuse me, the when, and the how to start this conversation. That baby, you got this job, but it's time for us to have this conversation about trying to help out. Okay? So when we get ready to have that conversation, why does it matter? Why does it matter when we get ready to have that conversation? Why do y'all think it matters? Let's take a look at the why, okay? Why does the question of paying bills matter? Let's look at it from the young adult perspective first. All right. So we're gonna look at the young adult perspective. Paying bills or contributing instill a sense of responsibility. That's a reason why it matters. Paying bills really makes them realize how important saving your money is. This is the point. This is a point why it matters from the young adult perspective first. Okay. It also cultivates independence. It also teaches them budgeting skills and also the ability to handle adult life situations, obligations, everything. That thing called life. Bottom line, it cultivates them. This is why it matters to have this conversation when your child get a job and you want them to start helping out. This is why it matters. First, again, from the young adult or the young child perspective, paying bills or contributing instills a sense of responsibility, and it helps them be able to how to manage and save their money. It also cultivates independence. It helps them with budgeting skills. That's very important. Budgeting skills. Oh my gosh. And the ability to handle adult life situations, just life, period. Okay? Now let's take a look at from our perspective, from the parent perspective, okay? Thank y'all for being in here, my loves. Thank y'all for being in here. All right. So from the parent perspective, there is a risk of enabling dependency. That's me. I'll talk about it. There's a risk of enabling dependency. If you continue to pay everything, your adult child may not develop the habit of maintaining finances. How many can relate to that? How many of us at one point in our time was doing this and they didn't learn nothing until it was just about too late to start managing finances? Other than me guilty? Other than me guilty? It's about reflection, y'all. Now we're looking at it from a parent's point of view now. And you also may be jeopardizing your own future. How? Now, when I say that, you might say, now, well, Ms. J, what you mean? How could we jeopardize our own future? I'm going to tell you how. You may be jeopardizing your own future, such as your retirement, your savings, and your health, by diverting resources to support your adult child. I've been guilty of that. I have been guilty of that. I have. Thank y'all for being in here. Thank you. Thank you. And again, I apologize for being late, but I had to get tech support on and get this stuff right for me. Because I just want to come live on one platform. I'm not paying money for that. I'm paying for 6. Well, 8, but I'm due 6. Okay? So, we're looking at it from the parent's point now, okay? Again, you can jeopardize your own future. You can jeopardize how? Your retirement, your savings, and your health. And that's by diverting resources to support your adult child. Don't want to do it? I'm going to do it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do it. No. It's resources out here, okay? Now, when that child get a job, right? Let's take a look at what does it do for the family dynamics. What does it do to and for the family dynamics? Wow, it does a lot, don't it? First thing it does, let's look at the dynamics now. So it clears expectation. Make sure you have clear expectations and boundaries. And the reason for that is gonna take out the resentment. That's the best I can see it. Because a lot of children get mad. Oh, you want me to start paying bills or start having pay? Start paying. But see, once you make your expectations clear and you set boundaries, it's gonna wipe that resentment away. But from both sides, when things are not done correctly, just letting things go, that's when your conflict start. That's when your resentment reset in and conflict start happening in your family dynamic. Because you didn't set boundaries and you didn't set your expectations. Just let it go. You got to do that. You got to set them boundaries and you got to make sure your expectations. And I even had to say, oh, it's all about money for you. Let me say this. This is not all about money. It's not. And I want y'all to understand, hear me with this, y'all. I want y'all to hear me with this. It's not about money. This is about growth, relationships, respect, and long-term well-being for not only you, but for your child. Whether they're 16, 17, or whether they out of college and they came back, they got a job. That's what this is about. It's not about money. It's about being able to help your child grow. Okay? Have growth. It's about strengthening your relationship. That's what it's about. And of course, about their way of being. Okay? So let's talk about when should you start this conversation. Now, I done told y'all the benefits of doing it. And some ups and downs of it, right? But when should this conversation start? Hold on, y'all. She must don't know I'm live. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. When should we start this conversation? Okay, she didn't stop. This conversation should be started first off when it is appropriate. When is it appropriate for a child who now working to start paying bills or contributing in some way? When are we gonna have this conversation? Actually, we always trying to look for a quick fix, right? But this is not a situation where it's gonna be one shoe fits all. It's not. It's not. But I'm gonna give you some guiding principles that you can look at. Okay, y'all wait a minute. Let me let her know because I know real quick. All right. Um, I'm gonna give you some guiding principles that you can use. All right. And again, I'm sorry about it. Give you some guiding principles that you can use. First one is stable source of income. Well, that means when their job is steady and reliable, not just this kind of short-term thing or casual thing. Now, let me stop right here. This is where I can honestly say, well, when I first did this, where I messed up in. See, I can talk about me because I wasn't looking at the fact that they were just 16, 17 years old, going to school going to work after school and won't making that, it wasn't a full time. At that time, in my mental, I wasn't looking at that. I really wasn't. But I should have because that was short term. Hours weren't that long. Probably weren't making 20 hours a week, and they were going to school. Then after school, 4 o'clock, then I would drop them off there. 9 o'clock, I'm picking them back up. So, but I really wasn't looking at it like that. I really wasn't, and I can be very honest about that. I was not looking at it like that. So this is when you should have a conversation. Here's some little guidelines. Again, stable source of income. When their job is steady and reliable. Not that old part time, 2 hours here, not none of that. Okay. Now they living at home. If they're still living up under your roof, it's reasonable to expect some type of contribution. That is one thing. This is one thing that I'm really, really against right here. Let me pause it right here, y'all. I am really against this right here. This is my opinion. Don't come for me because I know how to come back. But I am really against when a child start working, whether they're 16, 17, 18, or 25, and then they came home from college, whatever. I am really against, now I didn't do this. I am really against a parent telling that child, oh, since you're working, now you're going to have to start paying rent. Now you got to start paying me rent now. See, I'm against that. I can honestly say that. Or even having paid your rent. I'm against that. But the main one is that you're gonna pay me some rent now. You staying in here. I'm against that. Anybody else, put in the comments, let me know what you think. But I'm against that. That irks my nerve when I know parents that's doing it. Mm-mm. Or when they get 18 years old, they just let them go on about their business. Do you realize that your child is just 18 years old, they still don't know life yet? And when I was working at this particular facility, my co-workers around me, I used to hear them say, well, yeah, I'd be so glad when so-and-so get 18 because they got to go. I was the only one. There was 16 people that were 15 because I'm new 16 in my area with me. And just about everybody will always say we had that conversation, right? During lunch or something like that, or during our work. Yeah, we were talking about that too. And everybody was saying, I can't wait. I'm so sick of them. I be glad they get 18 to get out of my house. I was the only one that stood there and said, well, I don't want that for my children. And I never did. And they called me AJ, back then on my job. AJ, you crazy. I said, no, I'm not. I can't never see myself put my child out. They don't know life. They don't. And I got a lot of flack behind it. I really did. I got a lot of flack. So it is, to me, that's not necessary. To me, it's to make your child do that to pay you some rent. No. Or to pay your rent $900. So you want them, they work this little job, you want them to give you $450. Okay. But that's you though. That's you. I'm just saying. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't, and I'm really against that. Okay, let me see a comment here. Because I like to come and check my comments. Nakia, she said, I I I give them a bill, maybe toiletries or something. Okay, now I can get down with that. You can be responsible for your own bill. You can be responsible for your own cell phone, which I'm gonna talk about that. Yeah, you're right. And your own toiletries. I get that. But to sit there and I'm gonna tell you, yeah, now you working, the rent is 900. I want 450. That's wrong. But to each his own. To each his own. I'm sorry I just saw that comment, my love. I'm sorry. But again, if they are living up under your roof, it's reasonable to expect some type of contribution. Um, Not necessarily for them to be paying your full rent or bills. No. But something in exchange for the privilege of staying in your home. So according to the parentingguide.com, if your adult child is going to live in your home, show that you are working towards independence, not punishment for them. Did y'all hear that? Because a lot of children probably feel, oh, now since I got this job, they want y'all to take all my money like you punishing them. Show them that you're working towards helping them be independent, and I'm not trying to punish you. I hope y'all got that little nugget, okay? The next one is to have open discussions and make sure your expectations are clear. What you do with that, you sit down and you talk about what I, as a parent, for an example, tell them, get them like, okay, so in 3 months, you're gonna assume the payment. I'm gonna let you work, but in 3 months, after 3 months, you're gonna assume the payments of your bill, your phone bill. Then in 6 months, we're gonna look at trying to share the rent, something on the rent. But not right out of the gate. I want my rent money. Pace it out. Start chopping it off. I've been paying your cell phone bill for the past 10 years, whatever, blah, blah. Now, what we're going to do, after 3 months, you're going to start paying your own cell phone bill. And then 6 months, we're going to sit and talk about how can you help me with the rent. It's number one, especially when you are a struggling single parent. And y'all know the extra income, it helps. Come on now. Hello, somebody. Y'all know the extra income, it does help, but you ain't got to gouge them like that. You don't have to do that. Yet I said that. You don't have to gouge your child like that. Okay? It is what it is. I'm just being honest here. But again, 6 months, talk about sharing something, no, giving something. You ain't talking about half of the rent $1,000, you don't want $500. No. You've been doing it. $200 help me with rent. It's something. Okay? balance with their other responsibilities. Now, let me start right here. When you say other responsibilities, you probably ask yourself, what other responsibility can they have other than going to school and coming home doing homework? Well, going to school, then go to work, then come home and do homework. Other responsibilities. You might got a child that got a baby. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. You might have a child that got a baby, then they finally got a job. Okay? Balance with their other responsibility. They may still, and then they may have a student debt coming out of college. Okay, they may have a student debt. They might have. Then they might have. They might come to you and say they want to start trying to save some money. So you got to balance it. That's a responsibility. They're trying to save money as well. So you see they're trying to save money. If you got someone, your child staying with you, they might have got a baby. They got a little responsibility on there. Balance that. Balance it. You got to do that. Okay? Or if they looking at trying to build through some type of career, still it has to be balanced there with their responsibility. You still got to have some balance there, because if not, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. Okay? So contribution does not have to mean full independence overnight. Oh yeah, this is what you're gonna do right here. Yeah, this is what you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You don't have to do that. Now I'm pretty sure some people do, but it's wrong. Balance that thing out. So it won't be no chaos between you and your child, or you and your adult child. Okay? Balance it out. It don't have to come overnight, full independence overnight. No, I have to do that. Balance it out. The main idea of this is that the idea is gradual empowerment, not punitive expectations. You want to continue to empower them to continue to do better. You see them doing little milestones, encourage them. They got this job, okay? Now, you know another thing. Let's say they come to you. You want that if they get paid every 2 weeks, right? And no, let's say they get paid every week, and you already said what you want them to be giving you every week. All right. Let's say they come to you that week. It's time for you to give them that $50, but they say, "Here, Mom, here go $100." Be happy for that. Encourage them. Let them know, okay, I appreciate that, but no, I just told you $50 a week. No, I'm gonna just take this $100, and then next week I just give you. If I see fit, I gotta give another $100. Praise that. Empower them for that. Okay. That's showing responsibility. I hope y'all getting this. I hope I'm not boring nobody. Okay. You just got to put on gradual empowerment. Help them out. Make them feel good when they do something like that. Make them feel good. So now, since we figured out when to have this kind of conversation, how we gonna have this conversation, how to talk about it, and how we gonna set this plan up that we're gonna sit and talk about. Because some people can't talk to the children. Some people don't even talk to the children. You know why? Because this thing right here, they steady in this. But it's gonna come to time you gotta tell them to put it down. We need to talk. Okay? But how to talk about it and gonna set this plan in action. Okay, thank y'all for being in here. Let me check my comments. Thank you for being in here. How do we do this? How to have this conversation, because when you're talking about money, it matters. Whenever you have a conversation about money, that conversation matters. Now we talk about money. Now we gotta be fully here. We gotta be fully present. It matters just as much as what you talk about looks at. Let's look at some steps. Money matters just as much as what you gonna be talking about matters. I'm gonna say it again. For no folks saying way about there saying she ain't finished yet. Oh, I'm just about finished. Money matters just as much as what you're going to talk about matters. Okay? Here are some steps right here. First one, schedule your time. Schedule time to do this. Make sure you are in an area where nobody keep coming in and out. If y'all take a ride. Take a ride. Go out to eat. Or go parking, Walmart parking lot, for example. Say, I want to talk to you about something. Schedule a time to do that because you don't want no distractions. Because again, money matters and what you get ready to talk about matters. No distractions. Nobody coming in and out of the room. That's something you and that person should have alone. Or if the father's in the home, both of your parents should have that conversation with your child alone. Not other brothers and sisters looking at them laughing. Oh, you got to start paying money now. No, we don't need none of that. There's no distractions. Okay? Distraction free. Express your intent. Express your intent. First thing you're going to want to say to that child, how proud are you of them that they done stepped out and got a job. You keeping your grades up, especially they're still in school. Or they're in college and they're working and they're keeping the grades up. Let them know that you're proud of them. That's the first thing you want to say to them. That how proud you are of them and what they have done in their achievement. Then, after you done gave them their little accolades and all, how you proud of them, never get ready to jump into this conversation. So the way you do that, you say, I also want us to talk about how can we move into the next phase of your adult life. And how we as a family can support your independence. I'm gonna say that again. Yeah, let them know you proud of them. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you got this job. You was agonized. You thought they weren't gonna call you. Look, they call you. You got that job. I'm so proud of you. But what I want to talk to you now is about how can we move into this next phase of your adult life, and how can we as a family help you gain and support your independence, however you want to word it. But let them know that's what you look. That's the point right there. Okay, not try to keep taking from it. No. Okay. When you're talking with your child, remember I just said that word we. Make sure you're using that we language. And the reason why, because it's a partnership. How can we together help you with this? Versus you owe us. Now I'm gonna say that again. For the one that's way back in the back, wondering why she's still talking, because I'm just about finished. Hold on. Make sure you use the we language. How can we work together? Or how can I work with you to help you on this? Make sure you use the we instead of you owe us. You owe me. How did that sound? That already sound antagonizing. Now you say that to me, just the tone of that, I'm gonna get an attitude. Now I want to talk to you now. Use the we language. How can we help you with this? Okay, instead of you owe us. You owe us. That sounds so nasty. Lay out the responsibilities. See, this is another thing that I didn't do. That's what caused chaos. When you doing something like this, lay out the responsibilities. For example, if you want him or her to pay the phone bill, car insurance, part of the rent, utilities, food share, be concise and concrete what you want to be done. Because they can't read your mind. Now, when you tell them, This is what I want you to do. That's what you stick to, because you will be wrong. If you now I'm gonna say it, you'll be wrong if you already got it straightened out. The responsibility. This is what I want you to do right here. I just want you to pay. You got your own car. What we gonna do with this? I want you to pay half of your car note, half of your car insurance. I do the rest. Okay, we're gonna do this together. Since you got your own car, I help you with that. Because you don't have a 6 more months to go. It's about done. I help you go on and finish paying it off. So you're gonna do half of your car note, half of your car insurance. See, the reason why I'm gonna make sure you got insurance in that car, because I don't want you out there riding on a hope and a prayer. No, we're not gonna do that. Mama gonna help you finish this next 6 months. Then now you're looking at the phone bills, his cell phone, his or her cell phone bills, or the utilities, or buy some food. You decide on what one more that you want to do with them. Now this is where you'll be wrong here. Now y'all done sat there already and they got together what the hell she gonna do. Boom, everybody cool. 3 months pass. Oh, I need help. I need help with the utility. The first thing, and I'm the child. First thing I said, no, you didn't tell me to help pay that. Now why you gonna get mad because I said that? Why you gonna want to put me out because I said because I'm right? You told me what to do. You told me what to do. Now a lot of us will do that, and you're wrong for that. You already got it down what that person gonna do, and you're wrong for stepping up in there a month or two later, or 3 months later. Oh, I need help with the phone bill, and especially if they didn't choose that. Remember, half of the car note, and you're gonna pay the insurance, and then you let them choose between the utilities, the phone, and the rent, or some food. But they didn't choose them other ones, and you gonna come in there and say, look, I need some help with so and so and so. First thing I'm gonna say, no, that's not what I agreed to pay. And you gonna get mad, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. I'm just saying. Be concise and concrete on what that you want that person to pay. So it won't be no problems like that arousing. Because what that do, that makes you as the parent got to stay on your grind. Because I already got my 3 things or 4 things that you want that I already agreed I was gonna pay. We straight. And it's 3 or 4 more things need to be paid. You got to stay on your grind too, just as well as I do. As a child, I'm just saying, as a child. Okay? Set a timeline. I stayed there earlier. Set a timeline. What you do, you tell them, all right, in 3 months, you begin to pay so and so and so and so towards whatever. And then 6 months, you take a look at how things is going, whether you want to try to help them get an apartment or not. Okay? Or that's the time to start asking them, you want to start helping with half of the rent. I said that a few minutes ago. Make it flexible and reviewable. Don't just have, make it to the point if they feel they can't handle the utility month, can I drop it down and do so and so? Yes. Make that's what that means. Make it flexible and reviewable. You can come back to it. That don't mean, no, no, this is what you're gonna do right here. But look, you find out I can't handle that, or my hours have been cut. Can we do so and so? Make it flexible and reviewable. The reason why, because life happens. Things happen. Jobs start cutting hours, okay? Or trying to start doing exams, okay? Make it flexible. You got to be kind, but you also got to be firm with what you want. You got to be kind, and you also got to be firm on what you want. You got to do that. You're not being harsh. You're just supporting them to grow. See, that's the main thing we want our children. We want them to be able to grow, have growth, and understand life and understand finances. You want that man, that young man that you're raising, to understand how it feels to pay bills. You don't want it. He don't deny. You do everything for him. He get out here and get involved with somebody. He don't even know what he got to do as a man of the house. He's gonna understand it once you show him. Okay, be firm. Help them. The only thing you try to do is help them grow. But when you'll be firm and helping them grow, the main thing you gotta continue to do, you gotta continue protecting your boundaries and your own financial health and well-being. I'm gonna say it again. Nothing wrong with being kind to them and everything and trying to help them grow, but you got to make sure you protecting your boundaries and your financial health and well-being. Okay? Offer guidance. Offer guidance. If budgeting or financial skills are new to you, are new to your child, of course it's gonna be to a teenager or to your adult child. Walk them through the process. Walk them through the process, and make sure they understand what you are showing them. Excuse me. Make sure they understand what you are showing them. Don't let them say, "Yeah, I got it." I want you to make sure you understand. Make them give you examples. Make sure they know what they're talking about. Cause teenagers, y'all know they get. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, let's move on. What else? We're not gonna go that fast. Cause I want to make sure you understanding this. Excuse me. Make sure they understand. And what I just gave you was how to talk about this conversation, how to have this conversation about it's time to start helping pay bills, right? And I gave you ways you can set it up, things that you can do. All right, that's what I just finished. Now, we already know when we're doing this, it's gonna be some pitfalls in this stuff. It is. So let's look at consideration. Let's look at pitfalls and considerations that we got to take. Pitfalls and considerations that we got to take. We got to do it. But when I talk about the pitfalls, we got to make sure, I want you to make sure these are the ones that you got to avoid. These are pitfalls that you need to avoid. Okay? Keyword, avoid these pitfalls. It's either going to be all or nothing. All or nothing. Expecting full financial independence too fast can defeat the purpose. It can create stress, and it can create resentment between you and your child. I gotta ring the bell on that one. It can create resentment between you and your child, and it can create stress. All or nothing. These are pitfalls that I want you to avoid. Try to avoid. When you having that conversation, or when you have that conversation to your child about having to pay bills and all, or if they are paying bills, these are some pitfalls you need to avoid. Okay? No communication at all. How can that child do what's right when there's no communication? If your expectations are not clear, the adult child is going to feel that and see it and notice it. Okay? If your expectations are not made clear, that adult child will be able to feel it and see it and know it. Because it's gonna be all he or she's it's gonna be all over the place. Not gonna know what to do. Okay? These are the pitfalls. Parent child guilt. That's me. Parent child guilt or fear of wanting to have this conversation with your child and wanting your child to do this. Some parents continue paying everything because they feel guilty of fear of damaging their relationship with their child. How many can relate to that? How many can relate to that? You just keep right on just paying everything for them. Just pay everything for them because we don't want no problems. These are pitfalls to avoid. Enabling dependency. Ooh-wee. If you keep paying everything and shielding consequences, protecting your child, the adult child may not develop the habits they need for long-term life obligations. I'm gonna say it again. For that one that's sitting back there, her mouth still folded up, wondering why I ain't finished yet. It's getting there. Enabling dependency. If you keep that on paying everything and shielding your child from consequences, that adult child may not develop the habits that they need for long-term obligations and life situations. Not gonna know what to do. Gonna steady be on the phone calling. Enabling dependency. They working, getting a paycheck. You still paying everything for them. They out doing whatever they're gonna do with their money. Pitfalls to avoid. This one right here, how many can relate? Neglecting your own needs. Pitfalls to avoid. Neglecting your own needs. We as parents, we are guilty of that. Some of us are so guilty of that. Some of us, okay, are so guilty of that. We our retirement, our savings, our health. Oh God, we're neglecting ourselves because we're still trying to help them. Okay, if you sacrifice, your retirement and all, trust me, that's gonna become a burden later on in your life. If you sacrifice your own health and well-being, trust me, that's gonna become a burden later in your life. It is. And let me say this right here. Take my drink. Enabling independence does not mean withholding love or support. It means supportive boundaries. It means you have supportive boundaries. Encouraging independence does not mean withholding your love and support for your child. What it means is supportive boundaries. That's all. Okay, mothers, fathers? Now get ready to wrap it up now. Get ready to wrap it up. I didn't mean to be this long. Yeah, I gotta eat me a little bite on my Twinkie, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't sit here and looked at it. I'm sorry. Let me bite on my little Twinkie. Yes, I'm eating a little Twinkie. A little bit of piece of my Twinkie. All right, so let me wrap it up. So what have we learned today, y'all? We're gonna learn today. What have we learned today? If you're watching live, and if you have listened to some of the stuff I've said, you remember some of the stuff, put in the comments. Whatever it is, whatever you can retain, put in the comments. What have we learned today? First off, when your child gets a job, we already know that's a huge milestone. But it's also an opportunity to transition towards financial responsibility. First thing. Paying bills or contributing isn't punishment. So got it, right? It's about empowerment, growth, and having healthy boundaries and setting healthy boundaries. Okay? That's what we learned. The conversation that we got to have with our kids about this, it matters. The conversation matters. Be open, be intentional, be kind, but also make sure you are clear and concise of what's going to be done. Everybody understands. Both parties understand. When you get up out of that room or get up out of that car, everybody's good. We good. Setting expectations and timelines. What that does, it fosters independence, respect, and a better family dynamic in your household. I'm going to say that again. Setting expectations and timelines, what it does, it fosters independence, respect, and better family dynamics. That's what it does. Setting expectations. This is what we learn. Both the young adult and the parent benefit. How? The child gains self-efficiency. The parent preserves their future and their peace of mind. I'm going to say that again. Both the young adult and the parent benefit. How? The child gains self-efficiency and the parent preserves their future and peace of mind. So if you are a parent listening, or what? Well, reason why I say listening, because you might have it on if you cooking or something. That's why I say listening. Listening. I encourage you to schedule that talk with your child. If you got one that's working, that start working, and you ain't never said nothing about, schedule that conversation. Write down your expectations, what you want. But so you got to make sure that you feel that they're gonna be dealable for them. Okay, don't be all the way on out there. But write your expectations down. But when you write your expectations down, you got to make sure your expectation is going to be what your child's income is going to allow. You got to also keep in mind that you are coaching them and teaching them towards becoming an adult, and teaching them how they're going to be able to handle life expectations, life obligations. You got to let them know that. You got to keep that in mind. Now, if you're a child, a child adult, this is your time to step into a new chapter of responsibility. Embrace the conversation, ask questions, share your budget. Make sure your parent know your budget. Be honest, show it to them. Show them your check stub. A lot of children don't want, I don't want to see my checks because I want to see. Show them your check, share your budget. And what the main thing is to show them from your own expression, from your own body language, that you ready for this. Now, oh Lord, here we go. Now since I start work, now you want me to start paying bills. See, what you just showing exhibit right there, you ain't ready. What I just did just then, if a child do that, they ain't ready for responsibility. They ain't ready to grow up. But when you had that conversation, oh, okay, yeah, Mom, you know what, Dad, I've been meaning to come to y'all and ask y'all what y'all want me to help y'all with. See, you showing them you ready for this. I want y'all to get that now. Before I go, I want to hear from y'all. Y'all, the ones that's been watching live and the ones that's got it on and you cooking or whatever you listening. Put in the comments, or you can message me directly these questions here. When you got your first job, did your parents expect you to help with bills? And how did that make you feel? When you got your first job, did your parents expect you to help with bills? And how did that make you feel? You can put in the comments or you can inbox me personally. Tell me your story. Do you think asking the child or the adult child, that's the one that came home from college, to contribute financially, builds responsibility, or can it create resentment? Y'all just watching, put y'all answers in the comments, okay? Because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna come. I do read my comments. Look, I appreciate y'all coming in here. Thank y'all for being in here, and I hope y'all found this episode helpful in some kind of way. Because y'all know that's what this platform is all about. That's what this platform is all about. Um, and please share out. Y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. And leave a comment on if you went through something like this. How did your family navigate through this? If you don't mind sharing in the comments, right? But until next time. Okay, hold on. Who I got here? I got to give away something. Nakia, you still in here? Alice Harper, thank you for watching, my love. Randy, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. I'm trying to see why I didn't see y'all. I didn't see y'all come in here. Uh, okay. So what I'm gonna do is, cause I'm ending it now. Now, Koala Ann is watching. Thank you, my love. I don't see it up here because I would have been shouting y'all out. Only person I see is Nakia Renee. And I don't see nobody else. But on my phone, I see y'all in here watching. Thank y'all for watching. So what I'm gonna do, I tell you what, Calvin, Gail, this is what I'm gonna do. I want y'all to pick a number. I'm gonna give away a t-shirt. I got it in my hand right now. I got the number right here in my hand. I want y'all to pick a number 1 through 60. The first person that get the number correct is gonna get a t-shirt. 1 through 60. Now I'm gonna watch up here because, like I said, I see people all up in here on my phone, but I don't. The one person, 1 through 60. 1 through 60. Let me see. 1 through 60. 1 through 60. 1 through 60. 1 through 60. Nobody ain't saying nothing. Ain't gonna be up here long. 1 through 60. 1 through 60. Let me see on my other pages. Okay. 1 through 60. Nobody ain't saying nothing? Okay, so what I'm gonna do then, because I don't want to continue to hold y'all. What I'm gonna do, the ones I see up here now live with me, and I'm gonna call the names out. I see Nakia Renee. Let me go to my other page. I see, hold on. I see Nakia Renee. I see Calvin. If I say your name, I'm just gonna say Calvin. I see Calvin. I might say this name wrong too. I'm sorry if I mess your name up. You know, I don't mean it. I'm gonna put y'all name on the spinning wheel. All right, I'm gonna put your name on the spinning wheel, and I'm gonna come back live probably 2 more hours from now, and I'm gonna spin the wheel. I see Calvin. Well, it's not letting me see. Okay, I'm trying to see. I don't know what didn't happen, but I know I remember seeing. I'm gonna come back and see who was live up here with me because I can see who it was, and I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna put your name on the spinning wheel, and that's who's gonna win the T-shirt. Okay, but thank y'all for being in here. Um, Again, I stated, put in the comment, leave a comment on how if y'all had something like this to happen. How did your family navigate that transition? Put in the comments for me, okay? But until next time, I want y'all to keep loving one another, keep growing, keep communicating, and supporting one another, okay? See y'all. I'll be back with that spinning wheel. And thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it. I didn't mean to be so long, okay? Thank y'all.